Fearless learning. Remember when you were 5 and decided you wanted to learn piano? You didn't Google how hard it was. You didn't ask if you were too late to start. You just sat down and started pressing keys. That was fearless learning, and it might be the first superpower you lost without realizing it. Today, before trying anything new, your brain asks, what if I fail? What will people think? That fear didn't exist in your 5-year-old brain, but something changed. Here's what happened. Around age 7, your brain started building neural pathways for social comparison and failure prediction. Suddenly, learning became risky instead of exciting. Your brain began asking, what will people think, before what will I discover? But you can get this back. Scientists call it neuroplasticity, and it never fully shuts off. Start with micro-learning challenges that feel playful, not pressured. Try learning one new word in a foreign language daily, or spend 5 minutes sketching something you've never drawn. The key is removing stakes and rediscovering that electric feeling of discovery without consequence. Infinite curiosity. You used to ask why about everything. Why is the sky blue? Why do dogs bark? Why do adults look tired? Your curiosity was boundless because you hadn't yet learned which questions were appropriate or which topics were too complex. Every mystery felt solvable. Every answer led to 3 more questions. Then school happened. Curiosity got channeled into specific subjects at specific times with specific right answers. Your brain learned to suppress random questions and followed a prescribed learning paths. The neural networks that once fired wildly with wonder got pruned back into efficiency. The fix? Rediscover question asking as a skill. Set a daily curiosity timer for 10 minutes. Ask yourself 3 why questions about anything you encounter, just like you used to. Why does coffee smell different than it tastes? Why do some people talk with their hands? Your brain will remember this pattern and start generating questions automatically again. Emotional honesty. Kids cry when they're sad, laugh when they're happy, and say, I don't like you when they're angry. No filtering, no social performance, just pure emotional truth. You felt everything fully and expressed it immediately without shame or calculation. But somewhere around age 8 or 9, you learned emotional camouflage. You discovered that showing certain feelings got you labeled as dramatic or too sensitive. Your brain developed emotional regulation that was supposed to help you fit in socially, but they also muffled your authentic emotional expression. Here's how to reclaim it. Practice emotion labeling without judgment. When you feel something, name it specifically. Not just bad, but frustrated because I expected different results. Not just good, but proud because I solved something difficult. Your childhood emotional honesty was actually emotional intelligence in its purest form. Unlimited imagination. You used to turn cardboard boxes into spaceships, have full conversations with imaginary friends, and genuinely believe you could fly if you tried hard enough. Your imagination wasn't limited by physics, social norms, or realistic expectations. Every idea felt possible because you hadn't yet learned what was impossible. The adult world slowly convinced you that your imagination was childish, impractical, something to be replaced by realistic thinking. Your brain built neural pathways for constraint recognition, constantly filtering ideas through feasibility checks before they could fully form. But imagination isn't just child's play, it's the foundation of innovation and problem solving. Einstein called it more important than knowledge. To get it back, practice what-if thinking without immediately shooting ideas down. What if gravity worked differently? What if you could redesign your daily routine from scratch? Give your imagination permission to explore before your logical mind steps in. Natural presence. Kids don't live in the past or future, they live right now. When you were young, eating ice cream meant complete focus on the ice cream. Playing meant total absorption in play. You weren't mentally rehearsing conversations or worrying about tomorrow's schedule while building with blocks. Adult brains develop what neuroscientists call the default mode network, a system that constantly pulls attention away from the present moment into mental time travel. It's useful for planning and learning from experience, but it also steals you away from actually experiencing your life as it happens. The restoration path is mindfulness, but not the complicated kind. Just do one thing at a time occasionally. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. Your childhood presence wasn't a meditation practice. It was natural attention given fully to whatever was happening right now. Boundless energy. Remember running everywhere instead of walking? Jumping on furniture just because you could? Your energy felt limitless because you used your body for joy, not transportation. Physical movement was play, not exercise you had to force yourself to do. Adult life teaches us to conserve energy, sit still, be calm and controlled. We learn that moving too much is disruptive or inappropriate. Your body became a vehicle for your head instead of a source of joy and expression. Reclaim this by rediscovering movement as play. Dance while cooking, take the stairs 2 at a time occasionally, stretch just because it feels good. Fearless self-expression. You used to wear mismatched clothes because you liked the colors, sing loudly in public because songs made you happy, and share every thought that popped into your head. Self-consciousness hadn't been invented yet in your world. Social conditioning gradually taught you to edit yourself, match others' energy, and present an acceptable version of who you are. Your authentic self got buried under layers of social adaptation strategies. The way back is through small acts of authentic expression. Wear something just because you love it. Share an unpopular opinion respectfully. Let your personality show without immediately wondering how others are reacting. Unshakable optimism. Kids believe good things will happen. You used to wake up excited about the day, assume problems would work out, and bounce back from disappointments with shocking speed. Your default setting was hope, not worry. Life experience teaches us about disappointment, betrayal, and unfairness. Your brain developed protective pessimism circuits to avoid future hurt. But this armor also blocks joy, excitement, and genuine hope. Recover optimism by practicing gratitude for what's working while acknowledging what isn't. Kids weren't optimistic because their lives were perfect. They were optimistic because they focused on possibilities rather than problems. Instant friendship. You used to make friends in 5 minutes on the playground. Want to play was all it took. No social anxiety. No wondering if you were cool enough. Just genuine interest in connecting with another person. Adult friendship feels complicated because we've learned about social hierarchies, judgment, and rejection. We pre-filter potential friends through layers of social calculation instead of leading with curiosity and openness. Rebuild this skill by approaching new people with genuine curiosity rather than social strategy. Ask questions because you're actually interested in the answers, not because you're trying to make an impression. Pure wonder. You used to stop everything to watch a butterfly, spend an hour examining a single flower, or stare at clouds moving across the sky with complete fascination. The ordinary world was magical because you saw it with fresh eyes every day. A puddle wasn't just water on the ground, it was a mirror world to explore. As adults, we learned to categorize and dismiss. Our brains develop pattern recognition systems that label familiar things as already known and filter them out of conscious attention. The butterfly becomes background noise, the flower becomes landscaping, the clouds become weather data. To resurrect wonder, practice seeing familiar things as if for the first time. Take a different route to work and notice what you've never seen before. Look at your own hand like it's an alien artifact. Wonder isn't about finding new things, it's about seeing ordinary things with extraordinary attention. Fearless physical exploration. Remember climbing every tree, jumping off every wall, and testing how fast you could run or how high you could jump? Your body was a laboratory for discovering what was possible. You didn't worry about getting hurt or looking foolish. You just wanted to know what your body could do. Adult safety consciousness developed for good reasons, but it also created physical timidity. We learned to avoid risk, minimize movement, and treat our bodies like fragile machines rather than adventure equipment. Reclaim safe physical exploration by gradually expanding your comfort zone. Try a new hiking trail. Learn to balance on a curb, or see how many different ways you can move between 2 points. Your body is still capable of far more than your cautious mind believes. Natural problem solving. When you were a kid, you didn't wait for instructions. You just started. You built Lego forts, solved puzzles, and turned blankets into caves. You didn't overthink. You explored. If something collapsed, you tried again. Failure wasn't failure. It was part of the game. You weren't aiming for perfect. You were learning by doing. As adults, problem solving starts to feel heavy. We hesitate. We plan too long. We're afraid of getting it wrong before we even begin. But that fearless builder you once were hasn't gone anywhere. It's just quiet. You can bring it back. Start small. Rearrange your space. Fix something with what you have. Find a new use for something old. Let yourself experiment. Let yourself get it wrong. Your brain remembers how to build, adjust, and try again without fear. That confidence is still there. You don't need the perfect solution. You just need to begin. These superpowers are still inside you, waiting to be awakened. Let me know which one you miss the most.